I would like to continue showing the second game from this book, Michael Botvinnik, The Life and Games of a World Champion, by Andrew Soltis. The publisher is McFarland, really a good publisher of historical chess books. They have a big line. I like the fact that it's a hardcover, and I like the fact also that Soltis finds some games that obviously are not all that shiny and that are full of mistakes by Botvinnik. Instead, when we see Botvinnik printing his own games that he says, oh, I like to analyze, he just shows stuff from his side, and he often forgets some important things that happened that wouldn't make him shine so much. So in a sense, this is a little more balanced. I hope you will enjoy the game. Okay, this is the game from the 157th School Championship, played in Leningrad 1924. White is Grisha Abramovich and black is Botvinnik. Now, keep in mind that it's interesting one thing. There is this collection of games by Botvinnik that I have in Italian because I don't know, I think I couldn't afford it in English, it was much expensive. In Italian I could have it at a very cheap price. And as you can see, it says 1923, 1941. But these games are not mentioned, and here the games start with 1925. Okay, so that's the part that here you can see the game start with the game from 1925. So, but in here it's 1923. I don't know why. This is also another interesting mystery about Botvinnik. In any case, Grisha Abramovich seems they were friendly because this game, that is a tournament game, in reality it was played at Grisha Abramovich house, not at the school where the normal tournament was, because it seems Mr. Abramovich had some stuff to do. Maybe he wasn't going to school, you know. There were obviously different conditions in the time. So it's interesting that Botvinnik was able to organize this game, tournament game, in the house of Mr. Abramovich. c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, knight f3, d6. And this is the King's Indian defense. Bishop f4, knight h5, queen d2. It's already a dubious move. Why it's a dubious move? Because you don't want to lose the bishop pair, right? Now, these players clearly are not master level. In my opinion, in 1924, maybe Botvinnik was a 1700, and his opponent maybe was a 1600, something like this. But clearly he doesn't know one thing, the value of a bishop pair. If you put it here, what are you actually doing with that bishop? I don't know, honestly. Queen takes f4. As you can see, also the queen here is not really placed well, okay? Knight d7 and knight g5. Seems cloud is passing in front of the sunlight. Abramovich had beaten him in a previous year and only wanted to win the game a bit faster, Botvinnik wrote. White's idea is simple: either black overlooks mate on f7, or after f6 he loses the queen, right? Because if you play this, boom, okay. But obviously, how would someone not see a checkmate on f7? I don't know, honestly. But again, these clearly were not master level players. e3, h6, asking the question to white, where do you put your knight now, right? Knight f3, e5, d takes e5, d takes e5, and queen e4, knight b6, and here there is a dubious move, knight b5. Why? Obviously in the book they don't tell you why it's a dubious move, so in this sense you need a more expert player to tell you why. The reason is that you want that king out of the way, so it would have made much more sense to develop this bishop than move the knight again, okay? a6, rook d1, queen e7, and now the knight needs to go back, knight c3, right? So as you can see, not much was done. c6, oh, finally bishop e2, bishop f5, queen h4, and queen b4. The absence of a white queen from the queen side begins to tell. I don't know if this is a comment by Botvinnik because it was put between quotation mark. Rook d2, g5, and queen g3. And now black makes a mistake with e4. Letting slip all the advantage, but how to resist such an active move? Simple and clear was the continuation, rook a d8, a3 and queen b3. So as Botvinnik matured, he tended to avoid simplicity, but one of his favorite words was clarity. If he could calculate a complex variation to the point of clarity where there was no doubt about its evaluation, that was ideal. So a guy with thick glasses that cannot see far beyond his nose and the chessboard wants clarity. That makes sense. Okay, so he played e4, knight d4, rook a d8. This move from the psychological side in essence decided the game, he said. White saw that knight takes f5, rook takes d2, king takes d2, and queen takes b2 was lost. So what did he play? He played a3. Queen a5, and now unexplainably white make a mistake, which is big. Knight takes f5. So why is this a mistake? Let's see what happens. Now there is, like we saw, rook takes d2, king takes d2, right? Oh no, I'm sorry, my mistake. After rook takes d2, he plays knight e7, king h7, and king takes d2. Bishop takes e3, and now there is king c1. So obviously you need to calculate b takes c3, probably rook d8, king c2, knight, queen a4. So that's the reason why white didn't take. So king c1, bishop takes b2, king takes b2, but there is queen d2, king b3, and the queen takes. f4, queen takes c4, king b2, knight f4. As you can see, so why this knight f5 was such a big mistake? Because unfortunately all the forces, white forces on this side are not working, while this is a real attack on the king, and it's going to pay dividends, right? Okay, so let's see what he did. Knight a4, king b1, queen d3, check again, king c1, queen c3, king d1 and rook d8, and the game is over. My opponent was very upset, Botvinnik wrote. In the second game he was a bit more careful, but the advantage was on my side all the time. However, just as the struggle turned into an endgame, I lost immediately. Nevertheless, Botvinnik won the 157 school championship and was mentioned in print, apparently for the fourth time, after winning another event. In issue number 1924 of Shakhmatny Listok, the leading Russian magazine, his rapid rise didn't seem to surprise him. If you believe his remarkable comment in Analytical, that book that I just... So, but the game must be here, but I didn't see it, honestly. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. Maybe it's mentioned before the games, I don't know. No, because this is game 1, and game 1 it's from 1925. I'm not lying. Strangely, the book I have, the game 1 is from 1925. I guess there must be different editions, and I don't have the edition but have all of them. In any case, if you believe his remarkable comment in Analytical, this book that I just showed you, evidently, if the ability exists, 10 to 12 months is sufficient to master the rudiments of positional play. Well, I have no doubt that he was really good in positional play and in chess. In these games he didn't show it too much, but I also think chess in Russia has a big culture, and so obviously Botvinnik was playing with very good players that were giving him probably good advice, good ideas. And you know, when you're young, you have a lot of time, you like to play, learn, so we don't know how many hours he dedicated to the game in those 12 months that he learned chess. In any case, it's good that he played in this way. He was a good player, obviously not master level. I hope you enjoyed the second game. I will show you more games in other videos. Thank you.